So hello everyone at Richo.in's Compact Studio. We have with us another dynamic personality. So he has described himself that although he looks very old, he has said that he is very young at heart. So when a person says that if he looks old and he is very young at heart, either he is from the 99% of the times, either he is from the armed forces or he is a sports person. But yes, sir is from the Indian Armed Forces and he is Colonel Vishwas Deoskar. He is currently Senior Director at MIT Art, Design and Technology University, and he is also heading the MIT TBI Initiative. So sir, welcome here. I welcome you at Richo.in's Compact Studio. Sir, I would love to ask some fireside questions to you here. So the first question directly is, what is the work that you are doing? It's very interesting to sound that you have art, design and technology combined. So what exactly is the work that you are doing right now?
All right, so thank you very much. And I don't look old. I look young and I am young. I'm young at heart. You have to live life king size. If you don't live life king size, there's no point living, is what I would always say. So having said that, let me answer your first question.
Right.
Uh, the first question I would like to answer in a very typical and a different manner. You know what? I've come here for the complex requirement with a specific thinking in mind. When you think about art, when you talk about design, and when you talk about technology, there are issues which are required. Now, getting back into MIT's terms of MIT Art, Design and Technology University, which has been set up in Loni Kalbor in Pune, is a brainchild of Professor Dr. Mangesh T. Karad, who is the Secretary and Trustee of MIT's MIT group. He's a gem of a personality whom I work with directly. And here's the basic fundamental thought process which was brought into play to bring up a university which is at world-class standards, having a complete faculty which is looking at engineering, which looks at engulfs design, which allows the combination of art in terms of dance, culture, teachings, music in the form of Sangeet Kala Academy that is there on campus at Loni Kalbor, and also looking at the technology part, which is talking in terms of developed technology, in terms of IT, computer science, even bioengineering to that for that matter. Now it's a big combination.
Right, right.
Why this thought process is basically, supposing there's in India, this is the first university which has this concept. This wasn't there earlier. So the thought process came into play wherein they said that if a person is educating herself or himself
Right.
in designing or in terms of, Naval Academy that is there in terms of marine engineering, then in the evening or some other time, if the person has to pursue some hobbies in terms of music and dance, where does the person go?
Right.
So here is a combination which is there in MIT Art, Design and Technology University, which talks about a capsule course in technology and design, also a capsule course which is available to you in art form or in design or in Kathakali or anything else, painting.
Right.
There's so many other things to be done. So this is the basic fundamental thought process which was there, and I really support a lot for this. We are working very hard to get this in place.
Right. Sir, it's an amazing initiative because we always talk about interdisciplinary things that should be brought in the education system. And this is, I guess, a one initiative where an engineer can code in the morning and then maybe play a piano in the evening.
Absolutely.
So that's a great initiative there. Secondly, I must note this, that sir has got gallantry award for, in Indian Army. So sir, we would love to know about the experience of getting one such award, and what was that incident that due to which you got this amazing award.
Okay, thank you for that. I used to be a colonel in the Indian Army. Winning an award is definitely a great feeling. There's no doubt about that. However, the basic fundamental of battlefield has been always that you can come with a big plan, and
Right.
you would probably land up saying that I would do A, plan B, plan C, etc. But when the first round is fired, believe you me, most of your plans go haywire.
Right. Right.
Because this is a game of life and death. This is not a game of computer science on the net, or you play it there and there you go. No. This is a game of life and death which we've been playing. Things are different. I was fortunate to lead a commando setup in Anantnag Valley. I've been posted in the, I did 22 years in the armed forces. I've done some good appointments. And I've been fortunate to get an exposure to the setup in the valley twice. There is 2 tenures in the northeast and 2 tenures in the Jammu and Kashmir valley.
Right, right.
So one of the awards is that when I was at Anantnag town is when we were chasing a group of militants as a commando team.
Right.
I was the leader. And that is the time when we had the opportunity to, I would say, eliminate, instead of saying anything else, eliminate the non-required individuals who were creating problems for us as in the form of terrorism. And that was a fairly large group that we managed to eliminate, and that is the reason I was awarded there. That was the first one.
Right, right.
And another important one which I got in the northeast was when I managed to hit into a very big team which was led by a sector commander of Ulfa.
Right.
So these are 2 different ones, and there is another third one which is there also, but it's not the gallantry award which is more important. It is how much can you serve your nation. Now, you know, everyone say this is Mera Bharat Mahan and all that stuff.
Right, right.
It's a good feeling, but when you start serving, when you wear uniform, the entire concept of wearing a uniform starts from your heart.
Correct, sir.
When you wear a uniform, you get a different feeling. Okay? And that is service, which is actually nothing against, I mean, there's no, nothing against the people who are earning money,
right.
but the forces have a limitation on the kind of,
Correct, sir.
you know,
Correct.
money or perks that they get,
Correct.
which is not akin to what is there in the, as per the
corporate
world. However, the pay commission, the government they're trying to do something better. Hopefully they should be able to do something for the Europe and everything else. That will help us to go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. So these are different incidents where I had got, I managed to win the awards. And I was, I think, lucky. God has been kind. I've been able to do that well.
Thanks a lot, sir. I think we should salute the Indian Armed Forces. We also had the Armed Forces Day on 15th of January.
That's
so
correct.
we're very fortunate to have you here and to celebrate maybe the amazing achievements of our army there fighting in Jammu and Kashmir. Another question, sir, you know, so this as the experience you told that you heard the gun firing for the 22 years, and it is said that a soldier never retires from his job, but then at some point of time you joined the corporate sector. So was it boring for you? How was the experience? Since was it like you did not have any action or something like that?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a different ball game. I used to be on the selection board of the armed forces in Bangalore. And I had an opportunity to speak at various forums. Being a senior position person on the selection board, it becomes important for you to be responsible enough to understand what requires to how the world moving in the corporate sector. The more important part was that I needed to be qualified to be able to look after what I need to do.
Correct.
Being a psychologist, which I got my expertise in psychology also. That is personality assessments and psychometric analysis from Defense Institute of Psychological Research in Delhi.
Right.
Post which I stood first on that course. I was the best student, and I managed to be posted to the selection board in Bangalore, where I got a large exposure to the corporate world. So I did my executive MBA from IIM Bangalore. I've done my tank tech from IIT also, which one of my projects was from IIT Powai.
Right.
So we did that. And had to get qualified to face the corporate world where requirements are different. So I wouldn't say that there is no action. There's always action. I used to work, when I worked in the corporate world for almost about 10 years.
Right, right.
And I was the global head for IBM's university intake worldwide. I was handling 71 countries. I was working more than 15 to 16 hours a day. And when you say that soldiers, yes, soldiers never retire. They fade away.
Right, right.
That's the concept. They never retire, they just fade away. Now, that concept is there, definitely. You have to remain, like what I said in the beginning, you have to be live and happy. Learn to live life king size, whatever it is, doesn't matter. you will get hit from all sides. So everybody has problems in this life. There's no doubt on
Correct.
that. Similar things, there are issues which were there in the corporate world as well.
Right.
It depends on how you mold yourself. And when we all say that it is, learning is something which is continuous. You don't learn one time and then go. You will keep learning, keep understanding what is happening. I did that. I kept unlearning and learning what was required for the day. I had people from in the corporate world. I'll just give you an example. Just, while I was in the army, I used to be sirred every day, morning and evening. Morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Jai Hind,
Right.
Saab.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I had that respect and it came with my
Right.
uniform and the
Right.
kind of service I had done.
Right. Right.
When I joined the corporate world, I had a small young team which was there, a youngster of 23, 24 years who was a MBA graduate from one of the leading schools,
Right.
was part of my team.
Right.
And everybody has a flat structure concept.
Correct.
In a flat structure concept, you call each other by name.
Correct. Correct.
So I was called Vishwas. That was overnight.
Right. Right.
So one evening I was Sir. The second morning I was Vishwas.
Right. Right.
So when a youngster, I wasn't used to it, right?
Right. Correct.
But I had to unlearn and learn.
Learn again.
Today, after having done 10 years in the corporate world where I was called Vishwas, hi Vishy, hi Vishwas, that was how I was referred to.
Right.
Boss,
Right.
can I go here? Can I go not go here? People would just call me and tell me.
Right.
My EA would be working from Bangalore, I would be working from elsewhere. So things were like that.
Right.
After 10 years of the corporate world, I said, okay, let me take another jump and look into another world. And that is the education field.
Right.
Today I work with MIT Group of Institutions as a Senior
Right.
Director of HR, Strategy and International Relations, apart
Right.
from TBI.
Right.
Now, Ravi Barje, who is the CEO of MIT TBI, was here till afternoon yesterday. He had to go out along with Professor Pradeep, Dr. Pradeep,
Right.
who's gone back.
Right.
This is a great team to work with.
Right. Right.
Now, the concept has again come back into a different fold where I get served at certain times and at certain times I don't get
Right.
served at all.
Right.
So you have to unlearn and learn.
Right.
So these are some anecdotes which happen on a
Right.
normal basis. I had a small little youngster who just a postgraduate and with 2 years of service would come and sit at my table and say, "Hi boss, how are you doing?"
Right. Right. Right.
So life was different.
Right. Right.
Let's go and have a pizza.
Right. Right.
Let's have lunch.
Right.
What have you got in your bag? Open up and check out.
Right.
Nobody
Right.
did that to me when I was in the army.
Right. Right.
You know?
Right.
So now it's different again.
Right.
So to keep on learning and unlearning. These are things which I think are good things to do.
Right. Thanks a lot, sir. So as you after the fireside chat, we can surely say that that thing of unlearning and learning again is, I think he learnt it in the army as being a soldier. And the second thing, we are 100% sure now is very young at heart.
I don't want to leave that part at all.
Yeah, I know, sir. So thanks a lot for having you here at Richo.in's Compact Studio. Thanks a lot for your time. I guess it's time for us to log out again. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.